Hello, so today we're going to go over our Google Ads reporting. We're going to take a look at how to read the reports, what the reports mean, and why this particular set of data has been chosen for the Google Ads reports. Please bear in mind that not every single report is exactly the same, so your report might be ever so slightly different to this example Google Ads report. That's just because different customers have different types of tracking, they're different businesses with different goals, and whereas one person might be an e-commerce store selling things online, you may be a leads-based business, which will ever so slightly impact and affect the data that is included in your report. Also, your report might be ever so slightly different to this, but this video should still provide a good overview and help you to understand the basic data, information, and metrics that are contained within the Google Ads reports. The first page of your Google Ads report will contain information on your overall website traffic. This information is from all sources, not just your Google Ads traffic. So seeing this does not indicate in this example that 6,132 people have come from your ads in the last 30 days. Instead, this indicates that 6,132 people have been on your website from any and every source in the last 30 days. The arrows below indicate whether this information is an increase or a decrease on the 30 days prior. Your users are how many visitors you've had to your website, and new users is the number of visitors of which were new and hadn't been on the website previously. You'll always have more sessions than you will users. Every time a user clicks onto your website, it generates a new session. So one user, if they come back 2 or 3 times over the course of the month, can initiate 2 or 3 sessions. New page views indicates how many page views you've had on your website. So every time someone clicks onto a new page view is counted. So if they visit your website homepage, that's 1 page view. If they then go on to visit your contact page, that's 2 page views. If they then go on to visit your booking page, that's 3 page views. So most people are going to have page views that are 2 to 3 times the number of users that they've had or number of sessions that they've had. There's no set in stone figure, and if you have a 1-page website or a landing page, your page views figure is going to be lower because there isn't anywhere else for people to click on. They only have the 1 page to view. The bottom half of the first page of the report splits your Google Ads traffic versus your organic website traffic. You could break this down further and have charts for social traffic, for direct traffic, for referral traffic, but we find the vast majority of our Google Ads customers have 2 primary traffic sources, and that's Google Ads traffic and organic traffic. Most of the time that's from Google Organic, but it could be from Bing, Yahoo, Escocia, any of the search engines. They're all organic if somebody's clicked on something that is not an ad. The point of this data is to split and showcase how much of your traffic is coming from Google versus how much is coming from organic, and there is more information on this specifically further throughout the report. The next page of your report showcases your clicks versus your spend. This is important. It allows you to see historically how much you've spent over the last year, 6 months, 3 months, however long your campaign has been running. If your campaign has been running more than a year, it's most likely your report will only backdate for the last year. We can backdate it further, but the charts sort of become all squished and not very nice. So we usually just backdate it to a year. Clicks is just the number of times your ad has been clicked. Most likely a click will lead to a website user. Not always. If somebody clicks on an ad and then doesn't wait for the website to load, if they click off it immediately, it will still count as a click without the user having ever actually really been onto the website. This is most likely to occur if you have a slow to load site. We will tell you if we notice that you have issues with website loading speed, and you can contact your web developer to try to fix any website speed issues. However, the vast majority of time, your clicks and your website users are going to be there or thereabouts equal. The vast majority of people that click on the ad will wait for the website to load. After all, they wouldn't have clicked on the ad if they weren't interested in what you were selling or offering as a service. Spend is very self-explanatory. It's just how much you spent on your ads over the last year, 6 months, 3 months, however long the ads have been running. This figure is your ad spend only. It does not include any management fee that you pay to us. It's very helpful information if you're not sure exactly what your spend has been. If there are some months when your Google Ads campaign doesn't spend all of its allocated budget, maybe because of seasonal trend, fluctuations in search volume, the amount of people searching. This can happen particularly if you have a seasonal business or a business that is affected heavily by seasonality. If you're unsure on any dips or increases, just ask. We're more than happy to have a look at it for you. Next page of your report showcases conversions versus cost per conversion. This is probably the most important page of the report because this is what you can utilize to determine whether you think your Google Ads campaign is generating a good return on investment for you. So your conversions are the number of conversion actions that have occurred as a direct result of your ads. This data is ads data only, does not include conversions from organic, social, direct traffic, referral traffic. It's purely Google Ads conversions only. Your conversion actions are counted usually by calls, form submissions, online booking, or if your e-commerce purchases. If your website is e-commerce, we can get an exact spend versus product value, sale value figure for you. Just ask. For the vast majority of our customers, they are leads based, which means you don't have a sales figure. We don't have anything to track on the website, a cart, a checkout page that has the purchase amount on it. Therefore, you will track calls, form submissions, online bookings if you have them. And then your cost per conversion, cost per acquisition, cost per action, very similar terminology for what is ultimately cost per conversion, CPA, is the amount of spend divided by the number of conversions per, in this case, per month. So if you spend £100 in a month and you have 10 conversions as a result of that, your cost per conversion will be £10. This information is important, helps us to determine how well the account is doing, and it's really the most important metric that you have in your report because it allows you to see exactly what you spent per conversion. If your conversion tracking isn't accurate, for whatever reason that may be, your cost per conversion and conversion data will also not be accurate. This may occur if you make changes to your website that affects our tracking and do not inform us. If you ever make changes to your phone number, to your forms, to your booking implementation, to your checkout process, you must tell us that we can ensure your cost per conversion and conversion data is accurate. We may need to make changes to our tracking on our end if you've made changes to your website. So you must tell us if you made changes to your website, particularly to those things I just mentioned. Phone numbers, forms, online booking implementation, anything like that, do let us know. If you see sudden spikes in your cost per conversion in your report, it's most likely due to issues with conversion tracking. It's extremely unlikely that you'll have a campaign that performs really, really well, that has a cost per conversion of say £3 or £4 and that suddenly shoots up to £100 the next month. It's very, very unlikely. If you see big spikes in your report, it's probably a result of issues with tracking. So just let us know. It's something we'll pick up on anyway, but let us know if and when you make any changes to your website so that we can get the problem resolved as quickly as possible. The next part of your report showcases your website traffic sources. This is an indicator of where your website traffic over the last 30 days has come from. So you can see in this particular example, most of the website traffic has come from Google Organic, followed by Facebook direct traffic, Google CPCs, Google Ads traffic, Bing Organic, Facebook again. You have a whole list of traffic sources on here, and it gives you a pie chart and a more detailed breakdown and a table as to where your traffic has come from. This information is important because more often than not, we see people who come to us with issues, often on social media, and they say, I work really hard on my LinkedIn and I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, I'm getting loads of traction on there, for example. And then we look at their data and we find out that actually in the last 30 days they've had 2 users from LinkedIn, and neither of those users has led to a conversion action. And so as a result of that, we can say at that time LinkedIn isn't working for them as a marketing channel. So this information is important. It helps to break down exactly where your website traffic is coming from. The next part of your report is the long-term data view. You will not have this data if you are a relatively new Google Ads client. This data shows some of the most important metrics over the last 30 days versus over the last 6 months, more or less. So the very top of this particular report shows new users over the last 30 days versus new users over the last 6 months. This data is particularly useful more so to us if we have campaigns that we take over from other companies. So in this instance, for example, this data may be that another company had access to this account earlier in the year, and then we take it over, and we can see it's very, very up and down, but this can be a result of budget change. We can see how it's changed from company A to company B to company C, or it just provides a long-term data view if you've been with us for a long while. Either of those situations may be applicable to you. So the bottom part of this page has the same information but for bounce rate. What we're looking at here, particularly with bounce rate is an indicator of traffic quality. Lower bounce rate tends to indicate better traffic quality. So again, last 30 days, and then this one here is the last 6 months. It's going to vary, like I say, from customer to customer. You can see the bounce rate is very, very high for several months, probably around 4 months here. And then it drops off and it becomes much better, much better over the last 3 to 4 months. Again, this is useful if you've come from another company and we're trying to see what progress has been made, or if you're just a long-term ads customer with us, we can see how things have changed over the last 6 months. And those changes are important, particularly at the moment with everything that's happening with COVID. Trends are much more up and down, much more erratic and irregular than they have been in the past. So having access to long-term data is really important. The final part is, again, a comparison. This particular one is of pages per session. Pages per session indicates the average number of pages on your website that somebody has visited in a single session. Again, if you have a landing page of a one-page website, this information is not going to be applicable to you because your pages per session, in theory, cannot be higher than 1 anyway, because there's nowhere for anybody to go. You have one singular page on your website and no other pages for people to click on, and therefore pages per session has to be 1 at most. This, if you have a normal website with multiple pages, pages per session is another indicator of traffic quality. More engaged and better quality traffic will have a higher average pages per session. So hopefully that explains this report in a good amount of detail. You should be able to understand the data. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to contact us via phone or email. You can schedule a call with us online at any time by going to www.ccdigital.co.uk/book-online. I'll also leave a link to the booking page below this video.